Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Confused Yorkshire Men podcast. I'm the host this week. We're on episode 11, is it, Ben?
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, yeah, we're going to ask a question each, and hopefully we'll make ourselves less confused.
I'm George, by the way.
I was going to get to that, you knob. Right, I'm joined by Ben.
That's me, I'm Ben.
Yeah, and George has already introduced himself, and I'm Frank. So, let's get down to it. I'm going to open with my first question. It's a bit... I don't know if it's morbid. It might not be. Do you believe that humanity will ever go extinct? As in, our evolutionary line will just cut off at some point? That will just...
Yes. Okay, next question.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you mean? Yes, next question. I don't mean as in when the universe ends, because yes, the universe will end at some
But
point.
isn't just like evolving anyway going to make our species like obsolete and die off anyway?
Yeah, but it's like what happened to Homo sapiens when they were taken
We
out
are
by
Homo sapiens.
We're Homo sapiens.
Which ones did we kill?
But
We didn't really kill Neanderthals more than
it's just
out.
we
Neanderthals
survived
were
better.
We just
Like-
survived better.
There's like
A lot
Homo
of-
erectus.
Frank,
Okay.
you just laugh at that. You
Who had a
don't.
12-year-old in it.
It's just funny. It's just a funny name.
What makes it funny, Frank? I don't understand.
I'll tell you when you're older.
Do you know why they were called erectus?
They were the first ones to stand erect. Yeah, I know that. It's just the words erect make me laugh. I won't lie. I'm only human.
After all,
I'm only human.
we shouldn't start just singing songs.
I don't want to have a copyright claim, do I?
Oh yeah, because our fucking voices are so in tune.
Yeah.
But when I mean humanity, I mean a sort of like our line. So like over time, humanity may change and adapt, and sort of we may not be Homo sapiens anymore, but the sort of our evolutionary line. Because I'd argue there's not.
What do you think we're the peak of evolution?
Well, I'd argue that humans aren't really evolving anymore.
Well, we are, but evolution takes place over thousands of years, Frank, and what we've been alive for 22 years.
Well, yeah, but most of the time when something is evolving, it's adapting to its environment, right? It's adapting to its environment. It's making changes so that it can breed more effectively and survive better.
And our environment's still changing. What about climate change?
Yes, but we
Yeah, but
won't...
I think climate change is changing faster than we can evolve to adapt to it.
So what I'm saying is, rather than change our environment to adapt, rather than us change ourselves to adapt to our environment, humans change our environment to adapt it to us. That's what we do.
We use technology instead of waiting for ourselves to develop the needs to.
Yeah. And if that continues on, if that sort of that general sort of trend continues on, is there a point where technology won't be able to keep humanity alive? Is there a scenario that...
I feel like technology is going to be the thing that ends us.
Why? What
Just
do you mean,
taking
like an AI takeover?
I wasn't thinking like that. I'm just thinking literally we destroy the Earth the only Earth we can inhabit before we can inhabit, I can't speak, inhabit others.
So you think
using
there's
the
going to be
technology we
like?
have.
Do you think it's going to be like an extinction level event?
It's like that thing, is it the Great Filter? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Where you've got to make it past that point before you go extinct, but you don't make it up to that point because getting to that point makes you very close to going extinct.
Is that
It's part of the Fermi paradox. It's the reason why there's not many aliens that we see. That's one of the theories, right?
Have you seen any? Have you seen a few aliens?
No, but I mean,
have you been in contact with extra fucking planetary entities?
Dimensional, were you?
Oh, fuck!
They live in the smell dimension.
Oh, it smells terrible.
God. No, I mean, that's one of the theories why we don't see any other like aliens.
Because they go extinct trying to get to the point where they can
because
inhabit other
there's
planets.
filters. There's certain points that like a civilization has to get to be able to become an interstellar species.
Well, I mean, this is technically just me. This is reciting points from a previous episode, but if faster than light travel's impossible, we'd never really see a proper interstellar civilization. Because at that point, each area would be its own civilization. Like each.
That's one of the filters. Is if a civilization can get to the point where they can travel to another star, then they've passed through that filter.
Yeah.
But they're saying that this filter is like that hard to get through that no civilization can do it, and they'll end up going extinct before they can even get there.
So you'd argue that well before we ever need to leave our system to survive, we're just going to die anyway.
Well, we'll end up killing ourselves trying to leave. Something silly like that.
Well, there might even be like a nuclear war before that happens.
Let's not.
Yeah.
Oh god, I feel like everyone knows, right, that as soon as they fire that first nuke, everything's fucked.
But that's
some
why they
people
won't get
just
fired.
want it to. What happens when that one person gets a nuke and they want to end the world? They're like, you know what? I don't like the world. I want it to end. And then they'll launch a nuke, and then it turns into chaos, and the world ends.
What? So if Kim Jong-un gets his hands on nuclear weapons, and then just like,
he does.
Oh, so he does have his hands on it.
Has he actually developed his nuclear program?
Yeah, they've had nuclear
warheads
for years.
I think he can reach the west coast of America.
Oh!
That's as far as it can go, I think.
I mean, that's all he really wants to do, really.
As long as you know what Kim Jong-un wants to do.
Well, Kim Jong-un just
maybe he just really wants to bomb the East Coast, but he just can't reach there yet.
He's very upset. He really liked Fallout 3 and just wants that to happen.
New Vegas.
Yeah, if he wanted New Vegas, he could have just fired already. Like, come on, man, just give us New Vegas.
Yeah, but we wouldn't be New Vegas because we're in England.
Could visit.
In the post-apocalyptic land, do you think you could traverse the Atlantic Sea?
I mean, they worked it out with...
And then across the Americas.
Yeah, and then across the Americas.
Honestly, if Columbus could do it, like, we already know it's there.
He didn't have to traverse a nuclear winter, did he?
That's true, but instead he just...
He's had to kill a few natives, that's it.
He just had to bring some smallpox with him and he was fine. Like...
Yeah.
Is that what he did? Did he bring a tub of smallpox and release it?
The blankets that the American colonists gave Native American tribes were infected with smallpox and wiped out a lot of Native Americans. Just a fucking lot. Which is basically because... Well, it's because in Europe, because of the whole way European civilization sort of developed in those cities and stuff like that. Cities were a massive melting pot for disease because you had lots of animals and lots of humans together in an area with poor sanitation. So inevitably, diseases jumped from animals to humans, and that's how you get plagues. That's just how that... Because
speaking of plagues, that could cause an extinction level event.
Yeah, coronavirus.
I know
it almost
coronavirus just happened, but they didn't kill as many as like previous pandemics.
And that's true. And I think a genuine big part of that is, firstly, people's health is generally better. I know that sounds...
But I don't think coronavirus is as deadly as a virus
as the Black Death or bubonic plague.
No. Yeah, so there could be a worse pandemic that could hit us.
The main issue with COVID is it's just very infectious. Like, it spreads very fast, and that's why people panicked. Like, people, like, at the start when people were saying, oh, it's just a worse version of the flu, and I'm like, a worse version of the flu will kill you if you have any lung issues or are old.
The normal flu kills people.
Yeah, it's super flu, and flu fucking kills people.
Don't be talking about now. We're fine.
So that could make the humans extinct if there's a bad enough version.
Well, as we've already seen, there's people in the world that think vaccines don't work.
Which is only going to make it worse.
I find that insane. People being like, "Oh, vaccines don't work," and I'm like, firstly, they've been around since 1901.
Yeah,
Is it 1901?
They don't work.
No, I think
Is it
late
earlier?
1800s.
Is it earlier?
It was in the 1800s, I'm pretty sure. Because I remember learning about it in history GCSE.
History of vaccines.
You did history. Oh yeah, I remember in
Yeah, 'cause we
school
had to do
everyone
medicine through
complaining
time.
about history because they had to do medicine. and no one
Evidence
wanted to do it.
suggests that the Chinese employed smallpox inoculation as early as 1000 CE.
Okay, we didn't learn about that. We learned about Western medicine.
Yeah, of course we never do. We never learn about anything that someone who isn't white did in history.
Asia,
What the fuck?
Anything that isn't white or we didn't conquer.
Yeah.
What is true?
All we learn about China is they loved our opium. They just couldn't get enough of opium, so then they shot at us. Damn, that's what I remember. That's not how it went.
They shot at us with our guns.
It's an ancient British tradition, selling weapons.
Anyway, back to. I feel like we've hardly spoke about the question.
Well,
So,
what bioterrorism? What if terrorists get hold of
I mean, I'd say it's against the Geneva Convention, but,
but
I
the
think there'll
terrorists
be
still
people who
don't care.
don't care. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why terrorists.
That's what. Yeah, they want to rebel against society, so they do it with terror.
That could happen. About a super volcano.
Oh, Yellowstone, yeah.
That could cause an extinction level event.
But
I think we'd
do you
be
reckon
prepared for it, though. We'd be able to detect it, but
There's
whether we can
nothing
do
you can do about it.
Do you reckon
All of America will be dead.
Cover it in concrete.
That's not going to work.
Cover it in concrete, Ben. It'll work.
Do you reckon any extinction level event that we can comprehend, other than just a complete annihilation of the planet, would kill every single human?
Well, even if it doesn't kill every single human, will that human that survives, or group of humans that survive, be able to repopulate the Earth after this extinction level event?
They could probably repopulate, but the gene pool will be that small that they could probably just die off straight away from diseases.
Yeah. It's like...
So what would have to be the surviving population?
Did you know that, ages ago, that there was... I can't remember what happened. It might be like a meteor or something. But it caused most humans to die. And there was only 10,000 left.
Oh.
And that 10,000 is what made all of us today.
So you mean those two, Adam and Eve?
10,000. There was 5,000 Adams, right? And 5,000 Eves.
Yeah.
And at least one
everyone knows
Steve.
there were more Eves than Adams.
We're all related.
I mean, distantly, I suppose.
I mean, we must have come from the same
So at least...
thing.
So if 10,000 humans survive an apocalypse, which, to be fair, there's 7 billion of them, sheer probability fucking dictates that even if whatever event has a 0.0001% survival rate.
It kind of depends on the event, though, doesn't it?
Because if Yellowstone goes up, yeah, ash covers the entire fucking planet, but I'd argue...
warms up a lot.
Yes, but I would argue humans...
It actually cool the Earth down.
Yeah, we wouldn't get any sunlight.
Yeah, but it would warm up at first, and it would make the air unbreathable because it had too much carbon in it.
But do you
release all the carbon into the atmosphere, which would cause global warming, which would kill us, and then it would start cooling down?
Because how would living underground work? Because theoretically, enough people could live underground, and there are ways of getting food underground. There's things like...
Do the Minecraft underground farms.
Well, I'm thinking you could use mushrooms. Like you can find water underground. It'd all be about getting that water purification and being able to live there. Which with human technology, you can. That's entirely possible. You probably need something to filter the air, to be fair, actually, because it'd get stagnant.
Yeah, I want to say...
I don't think mushrooms produce O2, do they?
No. I think moss does, though.
Does moss require sunlight?
It does require sunlight, does moss.
There's actually some lichen that are currently growing off of artificial light,
There's werewolves underground?
What? No, not...
You said lichen.
Lichen. Yeah. There's actually werewolves underground, and that's what we'll hunt for food, Ben. We need silver-tipped equipment. Otherwise, we're just fucked.
I mean,
But there's
yeah.
moss and stuff that will grow on cave walls, and they've noticed that it grows even when it's artificial light, which is actually annoying a lot of scientists because they're lighting up these caves to look at ancient cave paintings, and then moss
It's
is
just going
growing on,
over it.
and it's just destroying it, and they're like, "Fuck." Because every time archaeologists go discover something, inevitably it's ruined within like a fucking decade.
oh yeah, that's how it works. You reveal it, and
Yeah.
then it's exposed to the elements.
It's like how you know the terracotta soldiers?
Yeah.
They're all painted. But as soon as they open them up to air, all the paint flakes off. Because that's how old it was. So like, you know, all the images of the terracotta army being like all clear, they're all
Yeah.
supposed to be painted.
It's like all the Roman and Greek statues, they're all supposed to be painted.
Yeah, which is wild to me, because I would never think that they're like when you see imagine seeing the statue of Zeus, right? But it's painted.
I think
How
it
cool was it
looks so
painted?
much better when it's marble.
Yeah, because marble's sleek and cool.
Yeah.
Do you reckon there was one
paints
guy?
over marble?
Do you reckon
Of
there
all
was
the
one
Romans
guy?
and Greeks, apparently.
What's wrong with them? No longer their empires fell apart. Painting on marble.
Do you reckon they
Saying
had a
that out
base coat?
loud. Yeah.
Like, what do you
That's
reckon
what
their
that-
painting techniques were? How good do you reckon they were painted?
Do you think
Like, was there any
had-
shading?
Well, you can look online of because scientists have found the pigments like on certain areas, and
Yeah.
they've tried to recolor it, and they look awful. So I don't know if they had more detail on it or what.
Well, you know, you can make a wash with paint. I can go get my Warhammer paints and I can show you.
I don't think they use Citadel paints to paint.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean, though. Like, because they'll have like base coats. They'll have highlighted things, right? They'll have
Do
edge
you think they had
highlighters.
technical paints that they painted the base in?
God. They dry brushed it.
Oh, dry brush is awful. I hate that.
I mean, dry brushing is just an effective technique. I won't lie, but God, I love dry brushing. But I feel like humans would still be able to survive in a lot of extinction scenarios. Like, there would be enough left over, I'd say.
It depends what makes us go extinct. I think we'll cause it ourselves. I think we'll make the Earth uninhabitable for ourselves.
Well, if we don't sort out climate change soon, then in the next 100 years, then it's going to be like unlivable very much.
It's kind
So
of
we've got 100
fucked.
years, guys.
It's kind of fucked, isn't it?
I mean, we did it. Well, we didn't do it.
Well, I
don't
don't really have much control over whether or not, you know, massive power plants keep pumping out carbon emissions.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like
Frank,
the
you could
government's
turn off
trying.
your computer and stop playing video games.
Okay.
Well, that's the government to
Just
blame it
turns out.
all on the public. The
Yeah, the
public blame the public, but when 80% of the emissions are caused by companies.
Yeah. They're like, oh, why aren't you recycling as much? And I'm like, you authorized fracking!
Yeah.
Don't fucking get pissy with me! Because
So what you're saying is the government's going to make us go extinct.
well, those in power. Because also,
Those in power, I see
How
what
about
you
Germany, shutting down all the nuclear plants to open more coal plants?
do you know why that'll
do
be?
that?
Do you know why that'll be?
Why?
Coal companies are paying their wages, paying the fucking government.
Yeah.
What's the joke? There's no corruption in the West because we just call it lobbying.
I've never heard that before. I think it's funny that in China, they're like, everyone were having a go at them because obviously the carbon emissions are really high. So they started doing like hydropower dams, and now they're pinching like other countries' water, and people are getting mad at them because they're damming up other countries' water.
Okay.
I know I shouldn't be laughing about that because that's
There's only so much water,
terror.
mate.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
the thing is,
I think it's
stealing from
Cambodia.
Taiwan.
They have houses that are like on stilts, that are meters high, that are supposed to be water up to the buildings, and there's just no water because China's dammed it all.
Are they confused thinking that they think they own the country? Like Taiwan?
I
well, the
don't
thing is,
think they
though,
think they own
the
Cambodia.
thing is, though, when water flows through your lands, who owns that river?
Can you own a river?
It's in your lands.
Why do we need to own
Hasn't-
things? Can't we just all share, guys? Sharing's
It's
caring,
like how, so you know how Egypt, like all life in Egypt, basically is stuck near the Nile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know how, so the Nile goes through like 3 countries,
Yeah.
and where's Lake Victoria? Is that Lake Victoria is the source of the Nile,
It's
isn't it?
in.
Can you?
No, it's not Kenya. Kenya's in. No.
I can't remember what country it is, but they plan to.
Sure, okay.
They're planning to dam up that lake so they can make a hydroelectric power plant. However, Egypt is like, no, please, we will lose all our water.
It's Tanzania, Uganda, and then Kenya as well.
Yeah, so it's 3 countries.
Yeah. One of them is planning to dam it up, basically, so they can power themselves and they can have this sort of power grid and they can move forward and become a more developed nation. Okay, there was some issues there. Do apologise. What were we saying? It was about the river and the Nile, wasn't it?
Damming up the Nile and killing millions of Egyptians.
Making the Egyptians go extinct.
Well, that's one of the things. Like, when you've got control of a river, who decides what's done with it? Because if you live right near the water source, you could just surely that's your water, right?
I hate that we think we own the earth just because we're humans, just because we're here. What makes us own the earth? Why can't we just live in symbiosis with the earth and
because
let the
then
earth
we
mother
would
guide us?
Yes, the Tauran.
Oh, speaking of Blizzard guy.
No, we don't talk about Blizzard anymore. Blizzard are dead. They died in a terrible accident. No one could have foreseen it.
What's Blizzard? You mean those snow things?
God.
We're gonna blizzard ourselves into existence.
So I'm convinced that unless something fully
big asteroid.
A big asteroid, right? If it's big enough,
we've
we
asked
are
this,
don't
we've
think
done
we'll be able to
predictions on
destroy
it.
it. Don't think we can do an Armageddon on it.
Can we send Bruce Willis?
I think we both had the same idea. Just send Bruce Willis to clean it up.
I hope that if that ever happens, we do actually send Bruce
freeze him.
Well,
freeze him just in case there's an asteroid.
They've actually tracked all the asteroids that could potentially knock into us.
One's supposed to hit us in the 22nd century.
I know that for
they'll be able to predict it for the next.
They named it Bennu.
Yeah.
It's you bastard! You're gonna kill us all.
It's 500 meters wide in diameter.
That's enough.
It's not enough to cause an extinction level event, but it's enough to take out like America.
What if it lands on Yellowstone, right? And then Yellowstone erupts.
Then we fucked out with.
No, it blocks Yellowstone.
Yeah, that's like it.
Yellowstone's about to erupt.
We're just slowly seeing it. It just starts wobbling as more and more pressure builds up, and we're like, "Oh fuck!" At some point, that's gonna pop. We need to put more shit on top of it.
Just concrete it up. Just concrete
it up. Fucking. You feel like is Yellowstone overdue for an eruption?
I think it's due. There's a bunch of volcanoes that are due.
What if they all go off at once?
Then
that'll be bad.
Can we even control if we go extinct? I don't think we can. I think we just.
We can't do anything.
It depends on the event.
Nuclear war.
I mean, you can try and get to a bunker.
We're about looking at it. It's about we're about 100,000 years to go.
Yeah, that's quite close.
However, that's based on an average of like 3 numbers, which is fucking meaningless.
Yeah, and they're all like millions of years apart, aren't they?
Yeah, so like with like variants, it could be going off whenever.
Yeah, so give or take a few 100,000 years.
It could go off right now.
Well, you wouldn't realise straight away unless you lived next to the volcano.
Well, we'd hear it in like 3 minutes because if Yellowstone erupted, we'd hear it.
In America, the speed of sound isn't going to get to England in 3 minutes.
I don't fucking know the speed of sound. I don't know how fast it is, but I know we'd hear it. We would hear Yellowstone.
Do you remember in England where there were those 2 fighter jets that got? There were like a plane that were like unregistered something, and 2 fighter jets got deployed. It were like over England, and the sonic
during Game of Thrones.
I don't know. I remember
I
I was cutting a
remember
piece of
it
cake
was-
and nearly stabbed myself with the knife because it was that loud.
I think for spoilers for Game of Thrones, if anybody cares.
Once again, Game of Thrones is coming up on the podcast.
Yeah, but I'm sure that happened. Like for me, it happened as soon as Jon Snow was getting resurrected.
What? So the fucking boom.
Yeah, and it happened just as he got resurrected.
Oh,
So I think I remember that it was It's because they flew too low, and when their sonic boom like went out, rather than just sort of dissipate, it hit the ground and just was really fucking loud.
it was really loud. I remember my parents were on holiday, so they didn't get to hear it, and I was home alone cutting a piece of cake, and then it went off, and I hid behind a wall because I thought there was an explosion by my house. It was the loudest bang I've ever heard.
I was convinced the world was ending.
I thought there was an explosion
Like a
behind my
bomb went
house.
off or something.
I was like, has World War III started? Is this where I know? And
That
that's
was
why
annoying because I watching Game of Thrones.
what if we all
and I
went
liked it
extinct then, and the rest of this has just been our dying moments hallucinations?
Well,
Yeah, but
can I
what
just
if the
hurry
world
up and
ended in
die already?
2012?
Did it happen in
God.
2012?
No,
Well, one of them did.
but that's when it was supposed to,
Oh, the
everyone-
Mayans and
world
stuff
was
like
gonna
that. It was
There's
probably
been
that
multiple times when the world's
it's
supposed to
probably
end.
the Mayans probably went, right? Fuck it, we probably don't need to carry on this calendar.
They just ran out of rock to write on.
Yeah, that's
Could
what
you-
happened, Ben.
Do you know how long the cycle is on that calendar? It's like 5,000 years.
That's a
Well-
lot of. That's very optimistic for a civilization, right?
Yeah.
That's like me trying to plan 3 months in advance. Like that's not happening.
You
Like-
can't even get can't even get people together for a guild raid. Never mind predict the end of the world. Bringing up. Oh no! What's WoW?
No content, no WoW content. It doesn't exist anymore.
No.
Let's play Final Fantasy 14.
Shut up, Frank. Do any of us actually think humans won't go extinct before the end of the world?
I
That's a
I
hope.
I don't think we will.
I feel like as long as it's not something like an asteroid that completely fucks the surface of the planet up, like the scale of the one that made
Even
the
then,
moon
I
happen.
think we're gonna fuck up the Earth before we can.
I'd
it's
argue
just gonna get
humanity
out
would
of
still
I don't think an
survive.
asteroid would kill the Earth. I think we'll be able to predict it from like years before.
Well,
And we'll be
they've
able to,
already
like,
been able to
destroy it
predict
somehow.
that nothing's going to hit us for like 150 years. They can predict like that far ahead.
Yeah, and we'll be able to destroy it somehow. We've got plenty of missiles.
Yeah, but the problem is
And
to destroy.
space nukes.
Yeah.
Atomize the fucker.
Yeah.
As long as you break it into tiny enough pieces, then
Then it'll break up
surely,
in the atmosphere.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I think
know.
if we can get past the climate change stuff, then I do
And we
reckon
don't nuke ourselves.
yeah, and I reckon we'd be trying to go to other planets like Mars and shit.
I
And
don't
that
know, I
would
just don't
give-
feel like we're going to get past climate change. I feel
That's
like
what
we
I'm
just.
saying. If we get past it,
Oh
I don't
god.
think we will.
Wait. How it's like 100 years, right? So we're dead by then.
it's our
Yep.
kids
But if we have kids,
and
they have
grandkids.
to deal with it. Oh god.
Yeah, just take the boomer approach and don't care.
Just don't have kids. The problem solved.
Oh wait, fuck it, I'm dead.
Yeah,
Then
That is-
boomers all along.
deep down in our core, we were the boomers.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a boomer.
Okay.
I feel like a
Eventually,
boomer.
eventually, George, though, that's what we're gonna be, right?
No, we'll
eventually
still be
there's-
Zoomers. Are we Zoomers?
Yeah, but-
What are we,
Yeah.
guys?
We're
Well,
Gen Z. But we're Gen
Yeah.
Z, but I wouldn't call us Zoomers, if you get me.
I know.
Like, we're not the Fortnite dancing kids. Like,
You guys don't Fortnite dance? God, Fortnite's like it was like I think it was yesterday was Fortnite's 4-year anniversary.
oh
4
god.
years.
Yeah, 4
No,
years.
Fortnite has not been around 4 years. It's been around for a month.
I will
and I
Google the
refuse to accept
release
it.
date.
Is that the Battle Royale or the like building version of it?
I'll tell you now.
How about the
Release date.
building version of the game?
Fortnite.
Do they still show?
So, 2017 was the 25th of July 2017 was the Fortnite video game. I'll look up the battle royale. So yeah, oh.
Did anyone play original Fortnite?
Oh no, this was the Battle Royale one.
Yogscasted.
2017.
I did a few videos on it.
Is that their
I remember
Fortnite?
that.
Do any of the Yogscast cover Fortnite?
In a Littlewood does.
Oh, fairs.
I
haven't watched
forget
his
about
videos.
In the Littlewood.
Oh,
I
man,
remember I used to
I
watch
don't
his
know if- is he
Christmas
still
calendar
part?
stuff.
He's still in
part
the
Yogscast,
Yogscast.
yeah.
Yeah,
He does those Race for the Wool stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if he left or not. And just stayed in touch.
He's a lot more like a traditional Minecraft. He's more like the current crop of Minecraft YouTubers, if you get me.
Yeah, I know. I used to watch him.
I remember when I used to watch like literally every Yogscast member.
Same.
I remember it was during the glory days of Tekkit. Sorry, my eyes fucking fully went wide there. Like memories of it was like I was watching Tekkit, I was watching Sipsco, I was also watching Rivian and Zoe.
Black Rock, whatever they're called.
Yeah, BlackRock, which is a fucking. I didn't know at the time, but that's such a shit WoW reference, Rivian. You fucking nerd.
Yeah,
Did we even talk about this in the last episode?
We talked about the Yogscast last episode because we talked
I think
about
we went into Tekkit. We went into Tekkit quite a bit as well.
And then there was also, do you remember Hannah's Owl Island, which was like so far away from everyone else? It was just her and Nilesy trying to build an owl sanctuary. Nilesy's still about, apparently. He only shows up for like Jingle Jam, I think.
When gambling's involved.
That's true.
Where he likes those poker.
Right, should we wrap up with this extinction question?
We'll be
I feel like we've hardly talked about it, though.
We're half an hour in.
Well, the Yogscast, I think, will keep us from extinction. So as long as the Yogscast lives, humanity has a hope.
As long as I don't have another calf.
Oh, no.
Why do we keep on bringing this up, guys?
We just like the Yogscast.
Because it was our life.
Lewis Brindley really hates us.
What
if he watches this podcast one time, he's like, you know what?
What, because we keep making jokes?
About them, yeah.
Well, I hope, even if we do, I hope they can take it in good fucking
Do you
nature.
want to be part of the Yogscast?
Okay, I won't lie. If I was ever in like a fucking like Discord call, if I was in a TeamSpeak or anything, whatever fucking recording software they use, with any of those guys, I would fucking like be so starstruck. Lewis would just speak to me. Lewis would say my name, and I'd start crying. Like, I didn't count. If I was in a room,
should do, Frank, on the Twitter.
Can we clip this so I can add him on TikTok?
Yeah, at him.
Because they've got their own TikTok account.
If I was in a room with Lewis or Simon, if I was in a room with both of them, I'd just shut down. I wouldn't know what to do. Oh my god.
I feel like I'd just be a fanboy.
I would love to
imagine being Boba, who has recently joined. Well, not recently, it's quite a while now, but she grew up watching them like us.
Yeah, it's mental.
Now she's
that's like most of the new people now.
Oh, it's weird.
Yeah,
could be us.
Like,
if we get big enough.
Let's start playing TTT, guys.
Oh, if we play TTT,
if we play enough TTT, we can
will they
join the
notice?
Yogscast.
No, because if you're too good at TTT, they kick you out like they did with Tom. Tom doesn't show up to TTT anymore because he's too good, which is fucking hilarious.
I don't think you need to worry about that, Frank.
Firstly, go fuck yourself. Oh yeah, we can't bring George because George will get the AK out.
I'm not. I'm bad at lying.
That's true, but you'll just team deathmatch everyone.
Team deathmatch.
Okay, enough of Yogscast now. We need to get on with it.
But Ben, we need more content to at them so we can.
Please. I love you, Lewis. You're my role model. I base myself off your example. It's weird how much I kind of do, to be fair. Okay, we'll stop. We'll stop.
We've talked about this last episode. We've talked about the Yogscast a lot.
Can I have a question about like who we like role models going up or something?
My question
we just talk about the Yogscast for half an hour.
My question just be, let's talk about the Yogscast for half an hour. That's going to be my question. We can have a Yogscast themed episode. I'm already planning it.
God. Most people are going to know who the Yogscast are.
Firstly, if you don't know who the Yogscast are, go watch Shadow of Israfel. I'm sure it holds up. It probably does.
I go back and watch Survival Island every now and then.
Oh, man.
Okay, Extinction.
I think that humanity will survive most things, unless something actively like compromises the structural integrity of the fucking planet. I feel like humans are adaptable enough, well, more our ability to create things that can adapt our situation will get us through most situations. Even the
I disagree.
volcano.
I'm cynical, me. I think we've already fucked it. I think we just on a timer and we're just going towards doomsday and we just can't do anything about it.
We're on a timer and people still say climate change isn't real.
Well, I feel like we can do something about it, but I think we won't.
Yeah.
We can do, but we just need to do it faster than what we're doing right now.
Just won't. We'll leave it till last minute like humans always do, and then guess what? It'd be too late.
Yeah, I think if we can make it past that, then we can last for quite a long time.
Do you think we'll make it past that, Ben?
I'd like to hope.
Hoping isn't yes.
I reckon there will be a small portion of humans that can survive past the climate change.
What if we evolve to live on climate changed Earth?
Well, I feel like we just changed our
we'd live.
Yeah, we would live then.
So
yeah.
I've managed to persuade Ben that we're going to live, and George is convinced we're all going to die. Right.
Yeah. I mean, everyone dies.
So, yeah, well, I guess with that level of morbidness, could we do your question, George?
It's my question.
But
well,
yeah,
I don't.
Well, thanks the host, and he said it's my question, Ben.
Fuck the order. Do you want to do it?
Oh, I thought we're doing George's last because we were more light-hearted.
You can do it then.
I wanted to
We're going to do Ben's question because Ben's throwing a tantrum. Ben, go.
Oh, he's not going to do it now. He's
okay. So, what would you do, and what do you think society would be like if we could suddenly live till the age of 300?
Oh, I think we start giving a shit about climate change. People are
suddenly a lot of our world leaders.
Ben, you were thinking someone's going to say that.
Yeah.
The world leaders are like, oh shit, kind of fucked ourselves now.
Yeah.
But do we know now that we're just someone's come down from the heavens and gone, you're going to live till 300, or is it just people just stop dying and we're like, why the fuck
it's
are people
in the patch
living
notes, George. Do you read the patch notes?
In the patch notes. Well, remove the ability to eat some buckets.
Well, scientists right now are like working on life extension. So say we've suddenly got that technology now,
and it's like widely available. Everyone's got it.
Yeah.
They've like released it in a viral form, so even if you don't want to live till 300, you are now living
till 300. And then it's not you get till like 60, 70 and you start like getting a bit frail with your body. Like you are
that'd be awful.
You are like at like your peak health for like most of the time.
I feel like I wouldn't.
But does that mean you only get to adulthood when you're like 50?
Or are we hitting adulthood at the same time, and then we just live for fucking ages in our?
Well, I don't know.
It's the way it works in D&D, and everyone knows D&D's right.
Well, dwarves live to 350, and that's about 50 is when they're adults. Yeah. So that's like what 45, if we bring it down to 300.
Yeah. Well, I reckon like they'll extend it out because they're going to make you stay in education for a lot longer than we do now.
Would
probably, yeah.
I reckon they would.
Well, it depends on
something more you'd have to learn.
Yeah, but that'd really affect employment, and they'd need people to even just like labourers just to work. So would they stop you from working?
You are now in the labour pool for 200 years.
Imagine retiring.
Do you think
they made it?
Do you think people would work for like 200 years, or do you think they'd want to stop?
It'd probably be
allowed to stop.
I feel like it'd be like.
If you got enough money, then you would.
There's there'd be two kinds of people. There's like, because in my head, I'm immediately looking at elves in stuff like that because I'm like, okay, they're a long-lived sapient creature, and they're kind of human. I feel like people would just switch careers at some point. You'd do like 40 years in one career and be like, fuck this, I'm gonna go retrain. I'm gonna go do something else.
You'd have more time to figure out what you'd enjoy doing.
Because even then,
and that's why.
That time when you're figuring out what you're doing is a hard time in your life.
That's true.
And that's extended it by a lot. And now
not necessarily. It just means you'll have more time doing what you like.
Yeah, but it also means if you don't like what you're doing, you've got more time doing what you don't like.
Yeah, but instead of like just spending like 2-3 years or something trying to figure out what you want to do, you've got like a couple of decades to do that, and then you'll have 100 to 150 years doing what you enjoy.
How many
Yep.
marriages do you reckon would end in divorce as opposed to death?
I feel like marriages are just the concept of it would fall apart.
Because I
I mean,
feel like
do you think relationships will change? Do you think a bit more like polyamorous?
no, I'm
instead
just saying
of
relationships.
monogamous?
Ben, you've been with your girlfriend quite some time. Do you think you could be with her for another 270 years?
He's gonna say yes.
I'm going to say yes because she also listens to this as
Oh
well.
yeah, she listens to it. If she wasn't listening to this, Ben, wink once.
to say no there.
Yeah, but I'm sure if I asked your girlfriend this, she'd be like, you know what, I don't know, Ben can be
Well-
rather annoying sometimes.
Well, you know, Altered Carbon, they played into this, like,
Oh yeah, I completely forgot
because
about that show.
they ended up. It's like they kind of get sick of just being with the same person the entire time, or they get bored of doing like the same, like sexual things, and they just want to experiment more.
I'll be honest, if I were doing what I'm doing now with my life and nothing changed, I don't think I could do that for another 270 years.
Well, then you could just fucking change it up.
Yeah, but how easy would it be to change it up in this? Because society would completely change. We'd be living in a completely new environment because everyone lives longer. Everything we're all it's like the Wild West again, but with age.
I feel like a couple of things would change. Like things would be built more to last, I guess, because a lot of new build houses, especially, aren't built to last like very long.
Yeah, new builds so bad.
It's not that they're like awful. It's just that they're not built to survive as long as older
Yeah,
houses.
I've
Like-
seen pictures of new
Well,
builds.
guys,
and,
think
like,
of how many
the walls
years of
are
Yorkshire
outflown and everything.
Let's build some houses.
Oh, do you think YouTube would last 200 years?
Oh my god! Imagine having 300 years of your life documented on the internet.
Imagine having just 300 years of life. I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie,
man,
George.
I-
Like, I don't know what I'd do. Like,
Do you think people have more kids or less kids?
Well, this is going to be a problem, though. We're gonna going back to extinction. We're gonna have too many people on Earth. We're gonna have
most
the Thanos. The
most-
Thanos. What? Yeah.
most animals that live for a longer time have have less of a gestation period. I mean, sorry, more of a gestation period. But assuming that
I'm not saying like the pregnancy is going to last longer. I'm
No,
going to keep
I'm-
it at 9 months. I'm not going to extend it.
I'm saying what I'm saying is, Ben, there is a limited amount of eggs. I'm gonna get into. We're gonna.
Yeah.
we're
When
talking
do
about
women
300
go
years
through
old.
menopause?
yeah.
Menopause.
Well, I guess the biology of us will stay the same.
Well,
So-
clearly it's
so you
changed if we
use-
can live till 300.
Well, no,
You're
because
telling
like,
me the women have to go through menopause and then live for 250 years?
yeah,
I don't know how much does menopause mess with you? Because I've heard that it like is quite rough.
It causes you to have like flushes. and
it's
stuff
rough
like that.
during the time, but then after it's fine.
Oh, it's actually. Oh, you're completely fine.
Spoken from a man who's been through menopause.
When
hasn't he?
Yeah,
how it happens, it's just during that
We can just
time.
look up menopause to work out what the fuck goes
Well,
on during.
I don't think
like
it's
80 years
qualified, so-
suffering from menopause.
I'm gonna look up. We're not qualified to talk about
How
menopause,
long
but,
does menopause last?
but I'm saying
I
that
feel like
if
it lasts a lot longer than we think it does.
either sort of the menopause takes longer to kick in, which means there's less eggs going through, which that's less periods
What?
for women, which
But
I'm
the
sure they're
Well,
time
if
happy
between
about.
periods are longer.
Yeah, so the time between periods would be longer.
And
Which,
instead of like being every month, it's like every year.
every year and a half, something like that. Or half a year, fucking whatever.
Okay.
Which inevitably means you'd have less pregnancies just because there's less times that the person can be pregnant.
Okay. But
Which would
do you think people will be actively seeking kids more? Or
I don't know if
less?
people would act. I feel like for a lot of people, when they're wanting kids, it's a moment of there's a period of time in their life where they're like, I need to sort this out now. Like, I need to do this now. There's a limited amount of time in your life where you can have kids. But if
Yeah.
you never have to care about that until, like, if you can go 150 years of your life and still have kids, then why not? Like,
Yeah.
why not wait?
People
Why not?
take more time to do what they want and then have kids.
Yeah, people would do whatever they want. People would
Yeah,
live.
but equally, you could have people having kids at younger ages, and then once their kids are grown up and they don't need that support anymore, then they could be living later because they're still in the prime later on.
Well, yeah, it's still
True.
it's the same both ways, really.
It's not like you give up responsibilities of being a parent after they're an adult.
Nah, you do. Fuck them. They're out.
Okay.
Soon as you move out on your own, mate, on your bike.
But if they make you stay in education for longer, you've got to look after them for longer.
But I'd argue that
Hmm.
I feel like your birth rate would decline just naturally,
Yeah.
or it would
I'd
either
say so.
decline or it'd stay the
Well,
same.
they'd have to because we'd extinct ourselves because there'd be too many humans on the planet.
Yeah.
We'd have to start culling the weak.
I don't know what the fuck I would
You know
do
what?
if I had 300 years of life.
Generational ships would be a lot easier.
How many hours in your life would you spend playing video games if you lived to 300?
How many do I at the current lifespan I've got?
Oh, okay. So what percentage of your time?
Shall I go on Steam and see how many hours I've had in video games?
Okay.
Is there a way to see that on Steam?
I don't think so.
Well, what's your percentage of your day that you spend playing video games? Like throughout a week, right? We'll take the average.
I don't want to look that up. I'll tell you how much my most played
don't
games
know.
and how much I've had.
So, like,
I
assuming,
feel like it's been varying for me quite a bit recently.
well, when you do sit down on an evening to play some video games, play some Crusader Kings or something, how long are you sat there for? An hour?
Probably
2 hours?
At least 2 hours.
So that's 2 hours, sort of, on average each weekday. What do you do on the weekends or days you aren't working?
Recording and editing these podcasts.
Okay. Oh, fuck.
Think how many questions you have to think of, Frank.
Oh, fuck! I don't want this.
Over like 100 years at least. Worth a question.
I've already run out. We're 11 episodes in and I don't have any more.
For the nearest hour, how many hours do I have in Civilization 6?
Ooh.
And it 600.
I
What do you
feel
think,
like
Frank?
you're 700... 700 and a half, maybe?
Right,
700.
700 hours exactly.
Oh!
That's what
You've had the
game.
same amount of hours in Civ 6 than I do in Rocket League.
Rocket League is my second most played with 490 hours.
Oh my god.
And the Civ 5 with 334 hours. Then Total War Warhammer 2 with 304 hours. Then Destiny 2 with 202. I've spent a lot of time playing video games.
I need to look at mine now.
Can't look at mine because it's going to go up on the other line.
Do you want me to look at
19
yours for you, Ben?
I've got 19 hours in Among Us. I don't know why.
God.
How much time have I had in Among Us? I imagine the same. I've had
Oh,
15.2 hours. Have you had more time than me in Among Us?
I don't know.
You only play Among Us with me. And...
I think maybe I've been solo queuing. I don't know. I've got 213 hours in Destiny, but that's just on PC. Because I
Remember,
played
you
on.
only got a PC a year ago.
What?
You got a PC a year ago, Frank.
Fuck
Remember
off!
that?
No, shut up! No. Oh god! Oh god!
I want to know how much you've spent on Steam in a year.
I'm
Where do I
not
check that?
telling you how
How do you
much
check it again, George?
Right, in Steam, press help in the top left.
Help. Okay.
And then Steam
Yeah,
support.
you need help.
I need help.
And then I think it's my account. Might not be my account, actually.
Data relating to your Steam account?
Oh, yeah.
Purchase history.
It's not that one. Oh, what is it? Fucking data related to your Steam account.
How much have you spent?
External funds used on that.
Where is that?
So when you go on data related to your Steam account,
yep,
then go to external funds used. And the audience can join in on this if you're an avid gamer like us.
Let's find out. Where the fuck is that? Yeah, tweet at us.
Tweet at Frank, tell him I'm on.
Does anyone want to say how much money they've spent?
I can't find it, George. I'm not going to lie.
I can't remember myself, but I think it's like 2 or 3 grand. And I've had Steam since like 2011 or something, I think.
Do you want to know mine in USD?
I know what yours is.
£5,208. Well, no, dollars, sorry, and 91 cents.
Is it in purchase history?
No, Frank, right. Press help on Steam.
I found it. I'm retarded. Oh my
Okay.
god.
Right. Yeah, how much have you spent? And you've had a year. I've had
What have you spent?
I've had like 14 years.
How much
on
did you
Steam.
spend?
For me?
Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's like $2,000.
Okay. How long have you had yours? Because I'm catching up.
I've had mine since like 2011, 2012.
I thought you were about to say 20 years there. I was like, fuck off. No, you haven't. I'm
Go on.
catching up. 1,300 and £12.75.
So that's over a year. You spent on Steam.
Firstly, I like to live an extravagant lifestyle. I need those microtransactions.
How many games do you have? It's just like Warhammer, isn't it?
Yeah, how many games do you? Because I've got like 400 games.
I know I
fucking-
gave you lots of games for free from the Jingle Job.
where the let me look at my Steam library. Um,
The Jingle Jam, you say, what? Are you talking about the Yogscast guys?
Yeah.
talk about the Yogscast more.
Charity live stream.
Games. I don't know where the fuck I spent all this money. Oh fuck! It'll probably be bollocks like Destiny
What?
expansions.
Yeah, Destiny, it's like season packs.
Don't you mean buying your friends silly hentai games?
Oh fuck! That might be it actually.
Uh,
How
Got
much
a
money
grand
am I?
on that.
It's £300 on fucking Sakura Clicker.
anyway, back
Okay.
to the question, guy. People live
300
till
years.
300 years.
People live for 300 years. I would say a lot of our values would change.
What I'm
Like-
thinking is, how would celebrities work? Would celebrities like come and go, or would a celebrity be a celebrity for 300 years?
It's only like how it is now. It depends on what
they're still
roles they
doing.
get.
Or could you imagine listening to what's a popular singer? I don't listen to pop music.
Taylor
listening to-
Swift.
imagine listening to Taylor Swift for the next 300 years.
Well, I'm sure Taylor Swift fans would love that.
Well, I feel like at some point she'd just run out of song ideas, right?
I thought Taylor Swift just sang about her ex-boyfriends, and she just
Oh, so
Yeah,
at some
and
point,
just
she'll,
think about how many
boyfriends then.
exes you can have in 300 years.
well,
Yeah.
at some point though, she'll find someone that they'll work out well. She's got 300 years.
Or maybe she'll start singing about a good relationship.
Yeah, but then all the fans will hate it. It'll be different. We all
I'm
know what happens when
jealous.
you're a content creator and you branch out. You get shot.
Do you get shot?
How many TTT
He hasn't
videos do you
branched
reckon
out.
the Yogscast
Can we
will
stop
make in
talking
200
about the
years?
Yogscast guy?
On the name episode, just Yogscast.
It's
We
just
talk
the-
about the Yogscast. You know what? I'm going to change my final question. It's going to be a surprise.
Oh no!
No, I'm not going to do
Please
that.
don't. I know what your wish is going to be.
Oh my god! I know what my wish is already.
Are
But
we
I
all
reckon
gonna have the same?
the cultural changes. We become a lot more big picture. I think.
Yeah, you start thinking about the future a lot more because you know it's going to affect you.
Oh, yeah, saying that. Imagine if you did like something. Imagine if you got a life sentence.
Oh fuck!
Would a life sentence still be
Would
like
it be a
30
current
years?
life sentence, or would it be a 300-year-old
I feel
life sentence?
like they would increase the life sentence.
Well, yeah,
because
because
a lot
life
of-
expectancy goes up, so. I don't. How
Do
would
they
you
increase
do
the life? Do they increase life sentence when life expectancy goes up?
I don't know. What is life
I-
sentence at the moment in like 30 years?
I'm not
I don't-
sure. But surely
Uh,
if people are average living longer, then the life sentence goes up because it's a life sentence. It's based on the average life, I guess.
Life sentence in England and Wales is a sentence that lasts until the death of the prisoner.
Okay.
Okay. So, right.
So I'm just going to say the same.
You're in your teens and you do something silly. You've never got a life sentence.
Well, you better not commit crimes. Don't murder anyone.
In the US, once you serve 15 years, there's a chance of parole. I think there's also a chance of parole in the UK, but it depends on a lot of factors
Oh my
Yeah.
of
God.
like good behavior, what crime it is. If you
I feel
blew
like
up
at
a
that
school
point,
bus, probably no.
It would be kinder to bring the death sentence back.
Yeah, but
I'd
you must
rather-
be kind
I'd
to the
rather-
criminals.
Yeah.
I don't, the problem with death sentence is false convictions do and will continue to happen.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
you
but
got death there.
And if a life sentence happens, you can be released if it's found out your thing was false. If you're executed though, they can't just res you. Like you can't be like
you can extend the death row.
To 200 years, Ben.
Yeah. I mean, if they're going for life anyway, it doesn't matter, does it?
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Well, we could probably colonize other planets. To be fair, if we had
That's what I was saying. Like generational ships would be a lot easier.
It'd just be like a 20-minute drive.
Well,
There'd be enough of us to just form a tower of humans into space.
We just start climbing like ants.
Yeah, we just climb on top of each other.
Climbing corpses.
Whoa, they're not corpses, they're living beings, Ben.
Yeah, but if they're in space, they'd be dead.
Not if they have a spacesuit.
Yes, Ben.
Okay.
What about?
It doesn't last very long, though, does it?
What if they've got a lot of oxygen?
No, we're like someone at the bottom has a tube that feeds all the way up to the top, and it just keeps on feeding them with oxygen.
They're just passing it around.
You just have multiple tubes. Everyone has a big tube. And you don't have to have anything at the other side of the tube. It's just a tube to nice Earth air.
I feel like you'd need to have some kind of pump, because otherwise the air just...
It's just one tube, but then it's just going to be... The people at the top is going to be just blowing carbon dioxide down it.
Well, yeah, we don't care about the people on bottom. Care about the people in space, Ben. We've got to make it to Mars.
I'm gonna have a lot of fucking tubes.
Once you get to the point where Mars's gravitational energy gets us, then
tube.
There's only so much oxygen that can go through the tube.
Oh fuck!
So the people at the bottom are going to be having all the oxygen.
You have more tubes. Everyone has their own personal tube.
And when we have the tubes, we connect them to Mars, right? And then we'll just like connect up and we'll sync up the orbit, so it just goes like that.
No, what we can do is we can get enough people to wrap around Mars, and then we just all clench in.
Ben is slowly fucking losing the will to live the more we talk.
Would you like to stop the stupid question? Silly question.
So I think...
How many hours of Yogscast would you watch if you lived to 300? I'd probably watch like...
I'd watch 400 hours.
I'd probably watch like 5 months worth of Yogscast.
I'd watch 400 years of Yogscast content.
How? You die at 300. You're making it to 300, Frank.
Firstly,
you can still die.
I can make it to 25. That's about it.
That's a good point. Just because people can make it to 400, does that 300? Does that mean they will?
I mean, I feel like an individual death would be seen as so much more. I mean, they are death. Dying is still tragic, but
because it depends what age.
Because everything, like if someone dies and they're like 80, it's like it was near the end. But everyone
to die at 80 this time.
It's like
fuck, they're so young.
Yeah, they're cut down in the prime. Like, your prime's 200 years. You got 50 when you enter the workforce, because apparently we're staying in like university till we're 50, and then.
Okay. Do you think people are more scared to try adventurous things?
I'm sure the word YOLO will still exist.
Yeah, but knowing the fact that you got like 200 years longer to live.
Yeah, but
do you think someone who is
people
like 50
still do it even when they've got like 60 years?
Do young people think about their mortality?
No, I don't.
You don't, do you? You just sort of living. You just sort of go day to day. You don't think, I'm going to die at some point.
I'm fucking immortal, so I'm fine.
Okay, Frank's immortal, so he's fine.
Okay.
What about us, Ben? What are we gonna do when we're withered old men, if we make it to there? And Frank's...
No, I have continued my existence. I've not changed. George, carry me in Valorant, please.
Put on my old man glasses. I got you.
Okay.
Oh, what would happen to video games? Would they last longer? Would MMOs last 300 years?
MMOs are real time.
They could be. You could do that.
You have real life hunger bars and stuff like that.
Oh, Minecraft, but real life hunger bars.
Minecraft, but real life time. I will now plant my crops and sit here for 2 months. As my wheat grows. I will now make these cows breed. Now I shall wait here for the year it takes for this cow to become an adult so I can kill it for 2 steak.
Fishing would be even more boring.
Oh my fucking god.
You see, you're saying this, Frank, but you know farmers exist.
Yeah, but they're not spending. That's not their leisure time.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Also,
sure.
if I'm farming in real life, it's different from farming in fucking Minecraft. Because if I'm farming in Minecraft, I'm just getting digital wheat. I farm in real life, I acquire actual wheat.
Do farmers play farming sim?
I don't feel like farmers get a lot of free time. I'll be honest. Farming's a
feel like-
full time.
What do you mean? They're just sat there waiting for crops to grow.
Yeah, you just sat there on your chair, you're waiting for the crops to grow. You got to make sure that zombies aren't running across your field and ruining them, and you're fine. As long as you get your fences and your torches fine, you're all right. Just don't. You just hope no creepers get in.
I feel like you're severely underestimating farming. I'm sure it's not as easy as you're thinking.
Farmers wouldn't play a farming simulator there because, like, would
It's
you
not
play a
realistic
game?
enough for them.
Would you play a game that's just your fucking day job?
But would I play IT support desk analyst? No, I wouldn't.
No.
I don't want to tell someone who has a doctorate what side of the screen is the left-hand side of the screen. That's not an experience I want to go through again.
That man had a PhD.
That man had a PhD, and he asked me what side of the screen was the left-hand side of the screen. And he was an English speaker. So it's not like he was like, oh, what's the left-hand side of the screen, because he didn't know English. He was English.
He just didn't know.
We already spoke about this on the previous episode.
Have we actually?
Well, I'll let you know, all this podcast is us recycling the same three topics. Now, Ben, 300 years.
The original episode of the first one.
Do you reckon people would get to the end of 300 years and still be like, it's just not enough time? Because I reckon people would. Because no time's ever enough time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we've got 300 years, then I'm sure we could find a way to merge ourselves with technology and then become immortal.
Okay. I mean, we could do that.
I mean, the thing is, though, there's only so much that your brain can actually process as well. Because assuming
a new one.
Assuming the brain that this fucking whatever divine being is that's given us 300 years of life, assuming the brain can store that much information over that 300 years, okay, then we're trying to extend our
brain
life.
SSDs to.
Yeah, but that's not your mind.
Well, it could be like altered carbon, and we just take some memory out and store it somewhere. You just have discs that go into the back of your.
But as soon as you start like extracting bits of your brain, right? What are you but a logic engine decided by your memories?
What are we right now apart from a logic engine decided by our memories?
Yeah, but guess what? I'm not uploading my brain into a fucking computer right now. Because as soon as you start uploading and downloading memories...
Technically, Frank, you are. Because you're interacting with the internet, but your input speed is just so low that you're not realising it. But you are slowly making your mark
my
on
internet
the internet.
Speed?
Well, no one has the bandwidth to upload their brain to the internet.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I'm not you shouldn't... Downloading bits of data from the internet into your brain directly is what I believe would be... I'm not going to lie, some viral advert's going to get in there, right? But what about, right, when you wake up in the morning and you see something would like you to accept cookies, and I'm like, I don't want that in the corner of my eye. I don't want to know that if I walk into this building, I have to accept its cookies. Like, no.
Turn off ad blocker and you can wake up.
Yeah. I've got a fucking 5-minute ad unless I want to pay for the fucking premium version every time I wake up. I have to wake up, watch a 5-minute ad, then I'm awake.
Would you like these new skins for your life? They're only £80 for the colour blue.
Oh my god. To be fair.
Blue skin.
Can I equip it and, like, de-equip it? Is it just an option?
Oh, I don't want to talk about microtransactions, guys.
Microtransactions already exist in real life. It's called money.
We spoke about this in the first episode.
Yeah, we
did. Is life an MMO? It's a good episode. You should go watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it again.
What are you doing watching this episode if you've not watched the first episode? That was 10 episodes ago.
Look, podcasters don't have continuity. That's not how it works. There's not an overarching story here, George.
Oh, that's the question for us. Do you think we'll be doing this podcast in 270 years' time?
So we're going to be doing this podcast in a year's time?
I hope so. We'll have viewers then. People will watch.
I hope if we, the growth, I don't know. Fuck it. If you guys still want to do it, I'll still be doing it.
Okay. Good to hear.
That's my liege. George is like, oh no, we're going to be doing this till we're 40.
I think I'm making it to 40.
That's true.
That's a very dark. Don't answer that. I don't want.
So-
I don't want to
Wait.
think about dying.
I reckon that humans, our perspective would change a lot with the 300 years, and I reckon
I don't think we'd know what to do though. I think
Do we
it'd
know
have a
what we're doing
bigger
now?
effect on us than we think. I think you'd get a lot of people thinking. I don't know. I don't know if it would affect us positively or negatively. Because the people who are sad will just see it as, oh, I'm never getting happy. Like people who are really sad. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm never getting happy, and now
But
I've got
that's- I
more
mean-
time of being not happy.
Does it depend what you're sad about?
The thing is though that a lot of the time, if they're having that kind of like constant unhappiness and that constant sadness and that depression, that's mental health. It can be treated.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the problem with that is people don't seek that help, and now they've got more time
a lot
of
more
not
time
seeking
to
the
seek
help.
that help, haven't they?
Yeah,
Got more
but
time
they've
to
all-
realise that they fucking should go get help.
I suppose. I don't know. It's a weird thing to think about.
I think
Hmm.
I'd like to live for 300 years. I think that would be pretty sick. I would be able to play
Oh, yeah.
so many video games.
Ugh,
But
yeah,
add so many things to my bucket list and do 'em.
all the things that you like now will be gone in 300 years' time.
Yeah, but there'll be new things that I
That's
like.
why I'd do them now, and then I could do things I want later.
There'll be more
Yeah, but-
things.
What about watching the Yogscast guys? We won't be able to do that.
I will
Well, it's on
download
YouTube. It's always on internet.
videos.
Oh no!
Also, the Yogscast will be alive for 300 years.
Are you
Yeah.
sure they'll be making content for 300 years?
I don't think Lewis knows about anything other than making content.
Jingle Jam 2020, no, 2228.
Jingle Jam 2228. Oh my god! Because of inflation, everything's like they immediately hit the £1 million and they have to do the dance.
Oh, we're on £1 million, guys. Only 10 billion to go until we hit our target.
That's the thing. We'd be able to see inflation, like properly, and be aware.
Think about how many world wars you
And
could
we'll do a
live through.
big number squish with the money.
What, like in fucking Shadowlands?
Yeah.
The good old level
I
squish.
don't want to talk about WoW either.
George, think about how
Guys,
much.
you keep on talking about the same things on the podcast.
Are we not actually as interested as we think we? So yeah, I think that's yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't. It's fucking. I think life just goes on. People don't really think about the mortality. I don't think it'll change if you increase it to 300 years. They'll just think, hey, until they get to like 280, and they're like, you know what? I'm going to die. And they'll be like, fuck. And they're either going to accept it, or they're going to be like, no.
No,
Yeah.
I don't want to die.
Yeah.
I think the bigger problems are going to come from like making sure there's not too many people living on the earth, and how we deal with that ethically if there are too many people on the earth.
There's no
'Cause you'll
real
get
way to
one-
deal with it ethically.
You will get people who are like, there's too many people on this earth. We don't like this race of person.
That would be what would happen.
That
However,
would be what would
hopefully, that's not how that goes down. Hopefully, it all just balances out. We don't have to worry about that because there is no way of doing ethical.
Humanity can't live off
population
of
control.
hope.
Rebellions are built on hope.
Anyway, Ben, what were you saying? We keep on cutting you off. What do you want to say about this?
I think everyone would start thinking about the future a lot more, especially in terms of like climate change.
Oh my god! School's going to be like, what are you going to do in school? Because this is going to affect the rest of your life.
We'll already do that.
I don't know, because if the career change thing happens often, like every
You-
40 years or so, then
stuff
they
like
won't
open
put a big
You'd have
university.
to
deal
do
on it.
refreshers for school. You'd have to like
I've
do a
had to do that.
refresher school every.
When I was starting my
It depends what
apprenticeship,
career you go down.
when I was
Oh,
doing my
man.
apprenticeship, I had to fucking remember like a lot of GCSE stuff that I've just completely forgot. I had to redo some
About
GCSE
how much
English.
you forget, guys?
I already forget everything.
I do as well.
Right.
Yeah,
God,
so-
this is giving me a crisis. This question, I hate
Okay.
it.
Well, hopefully,
Let's move on then.
before you have your breakdown, George, what is your question?
My question for this week is: you've got one wish. What is the wish? And the wish can
I
be
want-
anything.
I want to meet Lewis Brindley of the Yogscast.
Make a wish.
Yeah, that's my make-a-wish. Can I meet the Yogscast? I don't have to like be there. I can
You're
just
too
be...
old for Make a Wish.
not
that's a
if
point.
life expectancy increases, Ben.
Yeah,
He's not too old. You know what?
Oh.
We should start a charity thing, and the charity goal is to get Frank to meet Louis Brindley. I'd be up for that.
This
Do
poor
something for charity.
child, as it sees a picture of me, like,
Okay, so that's your wish.
I'm taking. I feel like I have to wish for something big, right? Like,
So
I'm,
big.
I'm
Saying Lewis
meeting
Brindley
Louis
isn't
Brindley is
big.
not big.
I mean, it is, but I could meet the whole Yogscast.
Oh, you could. Yeah, but original Yogscast that you grew up with.
There's
current
some
Yogscast.
members of the original Yogscast that I grew up with that
Yeah,
I
but you
shouldn't.
could wish that never happened.
Oh, what? I changed the timeline.
You wish
That's...
that the Yogscast never changed.
Yeah, but then but if I say if the Yogscast never changed, then am I wishing that the things that happened didn't happen, or am I just wishing they didn't get found out? Because I'm assuming.
What
I'm
do you wish
assuming-
happened?
I'm assuming wish goes path of least resistance, right? It changes as few things as it needs to change.
Or why do you just wish that what they did never happened?
Ah,
They
okay.
never became the Yogscast. Oh no, I fucked it.
Oh, no! Fuck! It was their only motivator. It's... I feel like...
What?
Can I
I
have
like
my
how we
wish...
all just don't know. We're just thinking.
Well,
I think I wish.
I would wish for more wishes.
I'm not doing that stupid answer.
can I wish for infinite wishes?
I mean, if you want that, Frank.
Is that on the
Okay,
table?
Okay, I wish for infinite wishes. I also wish... Second wish, Ben gets no wishes.
Oh my god, he wished it first, Ben.
Guess I'll just talk for this question.
I wish for Ben to get his wish back.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, but Frank's got infinite and I don't. Oh no.
I wish that me and George have infinite wishes.
Oh, good one, Ben. No, seriously though, we've got one wish. What is it?
Okay, well,
I wish I didn't have to sleep.
Oh, that is. You know what? That's a good one.
Just
But do
think
you
how much
still
more
feel the
time-
effects of not sleeping? So
No,
do you still get really
you
tired?
always feel like energized and awake.
Ben, if you want more time, you just wish for eternal youth.
You want more time in my day?
Yeah, but sleep is good, man.
Yeah, but if I didn't
Also,
need it, I wouldn't need to.
Does everyone know you've had this wish? Because bearing in mind, right, at some point, there's going to be a time in your life where you're sharing a bed, and if you're just staying awake the entire night doing something,
I'd tell my girlfriend I've wished this.
you'd be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I was going to
because
do infinite power, and I decided I don't sleep anymore." What? You would? You wish for
would
world
be like,
peace.
Ben, come to bed. I want to cuddle tonight, and you're like, I don't want to sit there for 8 hours just cuddling. I'll be honest, because I've got to stay awake.
I mean, you
Imagine
don't
how
have to
your
cuddle for
girlfriend
8 hours.
Well,
You
it's
cuddle
just wait
till
until
it's
When just asleep, I can just move away.
and then just sneak away.
You know how this goes, Ben. As soon as you move, that's when they wake up, and then it's like, "Oh fuck."
No, she's a deep sleeper.
Oh, okay.
Once she's asleep, she's gone.
Just completely fucking gone.
Yeah.
And then you just fuck off to go play Civ again.
Sure. That's how I'm going to spend my night, just playing Civ.
How would you stop yourself from procrastinating all the time?
I would
Because you've got
procrastinate.
so much time.
All my time procrastinating will be used up during that time, and then I have the rest of the time to be productive.
Ben, there is infinite procrastination time.
I think
you could work a day job and a night job and become money.
I wouldn't want to do that.
I've worked nights, Ben. You don't fucking want that.
I don't want to. I do my own thing.
Good.
All that
I'm
leisure
gonna
time.
wish.
Then you could work 24/7.
No.
You'd be the ideal employee.
I'd never get tired as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fucked.
Ugh.
What if I just wish that whenever I want to buy something, I have enough money?
Why don't you wish
So
for
just wish
infinite
for
money?
infinite money.
No. Because infinite money looks sus.
But this is infinite money. It's just
but
secrets.
Money appearing out of nowhere in your bank account or cash is also
untraceable.
very sus.
Yeah, I wish that whenever I buy something, I have money and it doesn't raise suspicion. Bang, wish solved.
Why would you just go for money though? What happens when there's an apocalypse and money currency ceases to exist?
Well, then
You
I'm
just keep on pulling out paper notes and it just cushions like an apocalypse.
Well, in my
Yeah, but-
head, I feel like this is one of the sad things. I feel like in my day-to-day life, genuinely, how many of my problems could be solved just by having infinite money?
Pretty much
A
all
lot
of
of them. And if I just wish for that, because if
Just
I
wish to be
also,
happy.
Frank, what
also,
about your problem of not being able to get a girlfriend?
I can buy them.
You can buy a girl.
Have you heard of gold diggers? It doesn't matter that they're only there for my money because I'll never run out of money.
Oh. Coming back at you from more technical difficulties.
Yeah, technical difficulties are plaguing us today. I'm the one that has to edit. Can my wish be
that you don't have to edit anymore?
Yeah, can my wish be we get an editor? Ben, how much is an editor?
Too much for us right now.
More money than we would make from the podcast.
I don't
guess
give
how
a
much
shit.
money we make from the
I
podcast.
hire an editor for my episodes.
We make minus money.
We make a deficit.
We pay to make a podcast.
We're like minus 10 quid each at the moment.
Oh fuck! I need to transfer you 10 quid. But yeah, my wish is whenever I go to buy something, I'll just have enough money because that way I'm not instantly ruining the economy. And also, whenever I never have to worry about my financial situation again, which is such a fucking weight off your shoulders.
Yeah, but what happens to Games Workshop when they're constantly sold out because you just buy all of the models as they come out?
I feel like if I did that, oh, that's a problem actually.
Yes.
You won't have to work anymore, so you have more time to paint.
Yeah, but will I? I was unemployed for like 6 months. I didn't paint during that.
You didn't as well.
I painted like 4 skeletons, Ben.
You just painted them a base coat of white and was like, yeah, that's good enough.
Firstly, no, I didn't. I base coated the. I believe it was. Oh, fucking!
If you painted the skeletons as a base coat of black and then painted over it as
it was Ushakti Bone. And then from that, I then picked out all the colours, and then afterwards, I did a whole wash with Seraphim Sepia. I quite like how it looks. You didn't care, but now you know. That's my wish. Wait, can my wish be?
You wish that people cared about you. I shouldn't laugh at that, but it's funny.
So my wish will be that. It sounds really shit, though, doesn't it?
Do you know what I'd wish for?
What?
I wish to bring a certain loved one from my life back to life.
I completely understand.
You know what I mean? Something nice. I didn't want to get too dark because we don't really talk about dark stuff on the podcast.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Man, I look like a prick now.
Yes, you look like a right prick now, Frank.
Fuck them.
One of us wish for like world peace or world hunger ending.
Well, you know what?
I don't want to fuck with the world too much, though.
I feel like if I'm the guy that causes world peace, I'm going to be a dick about it, you know? I'd ride off that moral high for the rest of my life, because I know I can be a cunt to anyone, and by the end of my life, I'm still like in good karma. I have so much good karma.
You can't be aggressive towards you because you caused peace.
Oh.
Exactly.
You're constantly causing peace everywhere.
Yeah, but is it like Civ 5 where Gandhi gets too peaceful that he becomes aggro?
Wait, so you're saying with this wish that I have the capability to completely remove conflict from humans?
I mean, yeah, sure. If you rewrite the human brain to not understand conflict.
Why not? That'd be fucking rad. Suddenly everyone's
want to change the world that much, though? Are you unhappy with the world? I mean, the world's pretty... It's not bad.
The world's pretty shit.
That means there'll never be any more violent video games because humans can't comprehend violence anymore.
Oh, what would we do? We won't be able to play shooty games where you shoot people.
It would just be fucking Candy Crush.
It would just be it would be Make Friends Simulator.
Oh God! Ugh! I don't know how to do that.
Ah.
It's just the fucking, in Spore, where you either got in your tribal stage, you either got make friend or murder. Those are your two options.
Make friend, eat friend.
Don't eat your friends.
I mean,
message of the podcast: don't eat your friends.
I mean, it's a good message. I don't know what I'd wish. There's you could wish for anything.
You could meet the Yogscast.
You could have been. This episode is 20 minutes of talking about the Yogscast.
It's just fanboying of a Yogscast.
Fucking please.
You know why it is?
I'm not going to let you in. We've already talked about all the bad shit already.
No, Frank's going to go through this episode and beef out everything we said.
I'm going to make this tailored. I'm going to... Oh.
It's going to be Frank's audition to the Yogscast.
No, don't say that. I don't like the words audition. I feel like it's a bit weird to sort of open audition something.
I don't know.
What,
Ben,
so that's what you'd wish for.
What wish are you thinking?
I said never have to sleep.
Oh yeah, you did. Sorry, we've just talked about Yogscast, and it's all I can think that we talked about. I've forgotten what we talked about apart from Yogscast.
It's just fucking gone. You're just singing "Diggy Diggy Hole" in the back of your. You're just like, oh fuck.
Yeah, never have sleep. So
tree. Oh,
just about to say the same thing. It's deep underground,
past the bedrock, but don't dig straight down. You'll regret that.
What would you do if you had the Yogscast to watch it and the copyright strike you for singing a rubber tree?
You know what? If the Yogs copyright strike this episode, fucking fair play.
It means they've watched us.
What time are we on? We've talked about it too.
I don't know. I just want to talk about the Yogs.
When I was 20 in.
Okay. Jesus Christ, this feels like the longest episode ever. And it's one of the shortest so far. We can wish for anything. I wish to go to Hogwarts.
Wait, is Hogwarts real, or are you just going there?
No, I'm going to be reborn in the wizarding world. That'd be cool. World.
Now you're reborn in a world written by J.K. Rowling, so every once in a while something will change, and you're like,
yes, it just changes, and it's like it mixes it up.
I'm gay now.
Suddenly black.
I'm a bit worried when my skin color rapidly changes. I wake up one morning and you're like, oh, my character's been rewritten.
Yeah. Did you know I just shit on the floor and vanish it away?
You gotta admit that'd be my wish. I wish to be able to just not shit.
I don't know. There's a satisfying element of it.
It's just time consuming.
That's just life, though. Life's just consuming time.
Life is just consuming time until you've got no time left to consume.
Yeah, it's like that movie In Time where you got the little bar on you.
Oh, you got the little bar on your
concept.
I've not watched the movie, but I do like the concept.
It's an interesting concept, but then I'm like, how the fuck does this society work at all?
Yeah, it was fun.
Because surely, when you're poor, right, inevitably, because you can see how much it's ticking down, you're just going to go crazy.
I mean, it motivates you to become not poor. Because you're literally going to die.
Just fucked.
You'd be like, right, being poor in this world doesn't exist because you die.
So I'm gonna wish for not infinite money, but I always have enough.
I'm just gonna bring someone back to life.
I just don't want to ever have to sleep again.
Just such a weird, mundane element, but yeah. So
but it didn't improve your life so much.
I mean, I suppose so. So yeah.
You'd never be late to recordings because you won't have to sleep in.
Firstly, I'm never late to recordings anyway because you call me to wake me up. So it's fine.
Yeah, he calls you when you're late. Me and Ben sit here saying, do you think he's going to be here on time? Wait until the time goes and then we ring you.
Well, should ring me earlier then.
No, because we don't have an excuse to ring you.
It shouldn't be our responsibility for you to wake up.
Well, then you're just going to have to deal with it, aren't you? So, before we just bitch at each other for the next 20 minutes and then
I feel
probably
like
go
this
to
has been a
York's.
very bitter episode, and I don't know why.
You're a bitter man. It's because we're not the Yogscast. I want to be in the Yogscast. I'll be
Well, you're never
happy then.
getting
I'm never getting in.
in.
This has been the Confused Yorkshireman. I don't think we're any less confused.
I think I'm more confused.
My brain is gone. But yeah, we hope you enjoyed. Like, comment. If you want more, you can either subscribe to us on YouTube or you can follow us on whichever podcast listening service you're listening on. But yeah, we'll see you next week.
Leave a review as well.
Goodbye.
Leave a review
Lewis
if you want.
Of the Yogscast. Thank you for watching our audition.
Lewis, please return my emails. I know you can see them. I keep sending them. I've been sending physical letters to York Towers. I've been leaving parcels outside. But yeah, see you next week. Bye.